May 2023, and this is Wayne Haid, the Watchman. Recently, a statement was attributed to the Honorable Leader of the Opposition in which she said that Trinidad and Tobago should implement or pass stand your ground laws, somewhat akin to the laws that now exist in the United States of America. And from my understanding, that sentiment was echoed by Mr. Gary Griffith, the political leader of the NTA. What I wish to say is this. We already have stand your ground laws in Trinidad and Tobago. Please let me explain. People use concepts that they hear from the United States in particular and attempt to apply them to other countries, and in this particular case, Trinidad and Tobago, without looking at the deeper and more underlying aspects of it. America, and in the States in particular, when they are making laws, they always like to have names that are special to them, that are catchy and are based more in politics than in law. So the names of the laws don't say gay law. You understand? For example. And they have done the same with respect to what we in the Caribbean know from our common law jurisprudence as self-defense principles. Stand your ground is one type of law that carries the same principles as what we know to be self-defense. And what is self-defense? It means that a person can use force, including up to lethal force, to protect themselves or their loved ones or someone else from harm, imminent danger, risk of death, or serious bodily harm. And that applies anywhere you are, whether you're in your home or on the street. And that is what the stand your ground law basically says. That if you are in your home or in some place that you are legally allowed to be, your vehicle, your car, the park, anywhere, even a store in America where people come in and kill people, and someone comes in and you believe that they're about to cause you harm, you can take action and take them out if you are able to. But that also applies to other laws in the United States. One, as my good friend Anselm reminded me, the castle doctrine. You know what that means. A man's home is his castle. And under that doctrine, if you're in your home and someone penetrates the interior of your home and you believe that you are under threat, you can take action by using lethal force to protect yourself and your loved ones and your property. The difference between that and stand your ground is that you could only take that kind of action if you're inside your home. But the stand your ground law extends outside. But not all states apply the same laws in the same way. So other states have laws that they call no need to retreat. That you don't have to take a step back if somebody is attacking you or you feel that you're under threat before you take offensive action. So you don't have to retreat, as in some jurisdictions where they say that if you are in danger, you should make some attempt to move away or to escape rather than meeting force with force. But most of the states in America apply principles which says basically that you don't have to take a step back. In Colorado, they call it the Make My Day law. You know, coming from the Clint Eastwood movies of the 80s that we knew about, 80s and 90s, you know, where he's pointing the gun at the man who has a firearm at his feet and he's telling him, go ahead, make my day. In other words, make me believe that you're going to cause harm to me and I will blow you away because I'm already pointing my gun in your direction. All of these laws are not different to what we have in Trinidad and Tobago. The general principle is reasonableness. That you can't just go around shooting people because they ring your doorbell, for example, like what happened in America, or they turn their car into your driveway accidentally and you shoot them under the belief that you are standing your ground. The law still requires that people have certain level of reasonableness in their action. So if your door is open, for example, and a baby 2 years old crawling, you can't just take your gun and shoot the baby down and kill it for no other reason because you're standing your ground. They will still look at the circumstances of the case. The only difference with stand your ground and the other principles that we know of self-defense is that you don't have to take a backward step. And you can do that anywhere you are. So it applies to Trinidad and Tobago citizens. If you are somewhere and you feel you're under attack and you are in possession of a licensed firearm and your life is in danger, you reasonably believe that your life is in danger, you can take steps to protect yourself, even if it means killing the other person. So I don't know what the Honorable Leader of the Opposition was advocating. To me, it was more like political theater. In that, it sounds good, it sounds nice, but when you look at what it means in reality, it is no different to what exists. And the problem in Trinidad and Tobago is different to the United States, where they have the right to bear arms. And you may find someone who has a legal firearm shooting another person who has a legal firearm under the stand your ground or no need to step back or make my day or castle doctrine. But they have their own principles of law. In our cases, it's different. We have licensed firearm holders, and they are entitled to protect themselves from harm in circumstances where the law could see clearly that there's a danger. It does not mean that every situation you can shoot. And there are situations that where you may shoot, and the law would say that, yes, it was reasonable. For example, if someone accosts you in the night in some place and you get scared and they have their hand in their pocket or they pull out something and you think it's a gun and you shoot them and it turns out to be a phone, the law may find that your action was reasonable in the circumstances of the particular case. But our problem in Trinidad and Tobago is home invasion. What I said was coming all the time. Where men with illegal guns are entering the homes of people with the intent to rob them, murder them, rape them, or all three. And in those circumstances, any person under the law is entitled to protect themselves if they are armed. So you don't have to make a special law called stand your ground for that. And the same applies if they're in public. We need to look at what the problem is in Trinidad and Tobago. Illegal firearms in the hands of young men and some women with the intent to do evil. And by the way, I will deal with the question of even the Honorable Prime Minister talking about banning assault weapons that have been already banned according to the Firearms Act in Trinidad and Tobago, in my opinion. What we need to do is to stop firearms in general, not only assault weapons, all illegal firearms from getting in the hands of the killers in the society, of which we have many. So I don't want us to get caught up in this discussion and the political gamesmanship. We must understand the reality. People's homes are their castles, but the castles are being invaded by criminals now, and it will happen more and more. As I said a long time ago, it was going to come. Now, everyone who don't want to take action to stop the criminals, and I'm talking about the politicians here in Parliament, once their constituents start to feel the brunt of the criminal activity, they don't want to say that, well, we don't want to get together and do something to help you all as a group, So they will say, let us make something else like if it does not exist, and to make believe that it's the other party at fault, the other side, the opposition or the government. No, we have the laws. Our problems go much deeper than that. The inability of the police to address crime properly, and especially murders. The inability of our judiciary to address cases in court in an expeditious manner, in a manner that allows us to put people in prison where they belong. And the inability of our leaders to understand that sometimes you have to take draconian measures to save your society. And this is where we are. Stand your ground does not mean anything more than you can defend yourself and your family when facing harm. But you will be unable to, even if you have a licensed firearm in Trinidad and Tobago, because the criminals will know that you have it, and they will take steps to neutralize your means of protection. So whether you stand your ground or not, you will be killed. Your family could be killed. Your life will be destroyed. The problem is not standing your ground. The problem is the failure of us as a society to make our criminals run or die, or reform, which I don't think is possible for most of them. We have passed that stage. They are beyond reform. They already have the blood of others on their hands. They are not going to go back now. So we have to either put them away for life or put them away for life, if you know what I mean. This is Wayne Head, the Watchman. Let me hear your comments, please. Have a good